Good morning. We're going to go ahead and look at the quiz that goes with the article of the opinion, the case against Mars colonization. So there are comprehension questions at the end, and we're going to go through them with an elimination process. I'll leave you with two that are possible answers. So let's get started. So hopefully, you've read or listened to a reading of the article. Which answer choice best explains why the author wrote this article? So, did he or she write the article to explain how robots can do human jobs quicker and cheaper? To tell government officials to stop funding space travel to Mars? To weigh the arguments against colonizing Mars? Or to convince the reader that humans should colonize Mars? So, going back to the article, I want to point out a couple things. This is an opinion, and the title gives it away, The Case Against Mars Colonization. So, the author is going to talk about why Mars should not be colonized. Do you see that? Do you see that title? Right? That tells you so much. So, let's go back here and start eliminating. It's not going to explain why robots can do things quicker and cheaper. This is not to tell government officials to stop funding Mars. So it's not B and it's not A. It's either going to be to weigh the arguments, that means to compare the arguments, or to convince you that humans should colonize Mars. Think about these two carefully. One of them has a flaw that I would eliminate immediately because when you read it, you're like, wait a minute, that's not what this says. So that's where you need to get to. And when you get to that, you will pick the right answer. All right? I'm going to go ahead and clear that. Next, what conflicting viewpoints does the article explore? So the article explores pros and cons. Those are conflicting viewpoints. Elon Musk thinks that space travel to colonize Mars can be done cheaply, but the American public thinks it will cost too much money. Elon Musk does not think it's cheap. He's dealing with billions, trillions of dollars. That is never cheap. We're going to X that out. Some scientists and engineers are committed to Mars colonization, but much of the American public does not think it is worth it. Maybe. Most Americans are in favor of colonizing Mars, but experts from the University of Colorado Boulder think it is unsafe. Most Americans are not in favor of colonizing Mars, so I can just X that out without even understanding the rest. Most Americans are in favor of colonizing Mars, but the author thinks it is a foolish way to spend government money. Most Americans are not in favor of colonizing Mars. One more time. So, with this, I think that you can see that it leaves one possible answer. And even though these are partially untrue, when you run into those untruths, you can X that out. So, the next one we're going to do is number 3. The author claims it would be better to send robots to Mars instead of humans. Which piece of evidence is not relevant to the claim? So you're going to look at this and think about the claim is it would be better to send robots. What does not support that? Its goal was to begin making plans for landing, building, and maintaining a human colony on Mars within the next 40 to 100 years. They are much cheaper than humans. That's true. They are much cheaper than humans. This one, I don't understand how this could support sending robots. So I'm thinking about A. This one does support the claim. So it's not going to be the answer because I'm looking for one that does not support the claim. They are immune to the risk of cosmic radiation. That's a good reason to send robots, right? They can investigate craters and canyons that humans can't reach. Another good reason to send robots. By the process of elimination. I know what answer it is, and so should you. So let's go on to the next. The author claims that we are not quite ready to go to Mars. Evaluate whether the reasoning is sound and there is enough evidence to support this claim. So we're going to look at, does this make sense and is there enough evidence? There is only a little evidence to support this claim. The author mainly relies on their own personal experience relating to waiting to make big decisions. That's really not true. There is evidence that we're not ready to go to Mars. There is some evidence, okay. The author explains why humans could contaminate Mars by bringing microbes such as bacteria and viruses from the Earth. There is some evidence, and this is true. However, this is not a main point, so I'm just going to kind of wait on this one. There is adequate evidence to support this claim. So the claim is we're not ready to go to Mars. The author explains three major reasons we should not send humans to Mars now, but remains hopeful that we would be ready in the near future. Okay. There is more than enough evidence. There is not more than enough evidence to support any claim about Mars. We haven't been there. So I'm going to pick between B and C, and I want you to pick. As you do this, you're going to need to read through the article, look at the headers, and decide which of these statements is giving you sound reasoning, that means makes sense, and enough evidence. So sound reasoning and evidence, which one, B or C? Good luck.